say that total submersion is the best way to learn, but it's not true. French is so hard on the ears that you can seriously spend 2, 3, 4, 5 days, a whole week with a French person, and if you don't have any basics, you're not going to learn. You need to get a book, you need to read, you need to grab a dictionary, you need to want to learn. So I think the best way is just to inscribe in a French course. And there's so many different institutions that offer different programs, so you just have to pick one that's right for you. When I first came to Paris, I was working 5 hours a day from 9 to 7:30 or 8. So it's really impossible to find a class that's not a personal tutoring class that will fit that schedule. So I had to ask my job to let me go early 2 days a week so that I can make some evening classes at some smaller institutions. But that's like an hour and a half each day. And if you're working, it's really hard you really need to spend time. So they're not really that efficient. So if what you want to do is make rapid progress, I suggest either studying some French at home before you come or enrolling in like a summer intensive course, which is what I'm doing right now. So I tried to live in Paris for 3 months, and if you don't speak French, you're not going to be able to get the most out of it. The French they're lovely people, but they really don't like to speak English. I think it's really just how much you want it. If you want to learn, you do it. I mean, sometimes, you're going to get frustrated, but when you start talking to people and you get that instant gratification of just being able to communicate one thing to somebody that you couldn't before, it feels so good. And the French really do appreciate when you try. So I think once you have that once or 2 or 3 times, you're going to want to learn more because you're going to feel so good about yourself. I was working in English. I was lucky enough to find a company that worked in English in Paris, which is quite difficult, I think, to do. But the entire atmosphere was French. So it was actually kind of difficult for me because even though we were emailing in English, I mean, everyone talks to each other in French. I picked up, I think it's Fusac. Fusac, no? Fusac, yeah. It's a magazine for the English-speaking community in Paris. And I highlighted a bunch of different institutions, private institutions that give French classes. But I called and they were really expensive and didn't really fit what I wanted. I wanted a really structured program. So what I did was I just asked my other American friends that live in Paris, hey, did you ever take a class? Where did you go? So they recommended different places, several different universities. And for me, I found that the one that was overall the most inexpensive and that offered the most training, because I'm one of those people that needs classical training, because if not, I won't work. So I went to La Sorbonne and I asked what kind of programs they had available, and I ended up picking one which is 3 months, so the whole summer, 5 days a week, 5 hours a day, and you get classes of French civilization and cultural in the afternoons. And it's really great. I mean, it's kind of like being back in school. No, it's exactly like being back in school, actually. You have class at 8 in the morning, which is really early, but you're done by 2, and then you're free to carry on with the rest of your day however you want. So it's good.